Apathetic, indifferent, insensitive, unconcerned, disinterested, nonchalant, cold, detached, and unsympathizing. These are the words I'm using to describe Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch. And as we've heard by now, Dan Clancy held a TwitchCon recently. And at that TwitchCon, a big streamer by the name of Emiru was sexually assaulted. An individual, a man to be exact, came over towards her, towering over her actually. Guy looks like he's easily 6'1", 6'2". Came over, grabbed her, and tried to kiss her. That's known as a sexual assault because it was without consent. She made a video saying that when it happened, she was screaming her lungs out. Now, in the clip that's been circulating around social media, you can't hear her screaming, but I believe her. You know, something like that happens to you, especially to a girl. You know, you're about, what, 5'2", 5'1". You get this guy towering over you, 6'1", 6'2", thinking that he can just come over and just lay a big kiss on you just out of nowhere. Of course, you're going to scream. You're going to fear for your life. Because at that moment, he could have done much, much worse. Now, Dan Clancy seems to think that this incident is nothing. He seems to think that this incident will just be swept away under the rug as soon as possible. He seems to think that there are no consequences, which is sad. You know, because you'd expect that a CEO of a big company like Twitch would be able to rub at least two neurons together and say, you know what? I need security at my events. I need security not just to protect the big streamers and the small streamers, but also the viewers. Because God forbid if something bad happens, like a sexual assault, you know, his ass is going to be on the line. But Dan Clancy doesn't seem to care about that. He seems to care more about taking selfies, going on streams with big streamers. He seems to think that he's part of the group, that he's one of the boys. And let's be honest, only reason someone like Dan Clancy can appear on a stream like Kai Cenat, not long ago he was on Kai Cenat's stream during his, I believe his subathon. Only reason he's appearing on there is because he's the CEO of Twitch. If I myself, like someone asked Kai Cenat, hey, let me come on your stream during your subathon, he'd be like, no, you're crazy, fam. You're crazy. Why am I going to let you on my stream? What's the point of that? What do I have to gain, right? Kai Cenat has to gain from Dan Clancy coming on his stream, just like he would have to gain from Elon Musk coming onto his stream. You know, someone famous like that. He'd be like, yeah, sure, come on stream, make me more money. I would like to see Dan Clancy step down as CEO of Twitch. I'm not the only one that has noticed that since Dan Clancy has taken the position of CEO, Twitch has fallen into an immeasurable abyss. An abyss that Dan Clancy swears does not exist. I know Twitch's revenue is down. I know their advertisers are leaving. I know their viewership is down. It's not hard to see. Dan Clancy rather let terrorist sympathizers roam his platform. He'd rather let OnlyFans models roam his platform instead of letting his actual target audience roam his platform. Now, who is Twitch's actual target audience, you may ask? Well, it's the gamers. You know, Twitch started off as Justin.tv, I believe. A platform for gamers where they can live stream and have their friends watch them. In fact, Emiru has said that this is her last TwitchCon. She won't appear on any other TwitchCon. She's just going to go back home, where she says she has more cameras than TwitchCon has, where she feels safe, and she's going back to playing games on live stream. You know, basically going back to the roots of what Twitch is, but not because she wants to, but because she's forced to. Because of the lack of respect that Dan Clancy is showing Twitch streamers and Twitch viewers. Hopefully Dan Clancy can change before things get worse. A man like Dan Clancy is in a privileged position to be able to say, hey, as CEO, I'm going to go and waste time and go on these live streams, you know, on big streamers' live streams and just have fun. I don't think Dan Clancy sees how privileged he is and how quickly he's about to lose that privilege. He's lucky also if Emiru decides not to sue him. He's also lucky if, if the big streamers, and not just big streamers, but small streamers as well. He's lucky if they don't come together and decide to hit Twitch with a a class action lawsuit. And not just Twitch, but also Amazon. In the video, there was a video nearly 1 hour long that Emiru put out. I believe it was 48 minutes, 50 minutes long, where she says after the sexual assault, Amazon sent some people down to see what they can fix. And at that point she says, it's too late. What are you going to fix? What needs to be fixed is in the past now. And she's absolutely right. It's definitely in the past. At this point, Twitch will be lucky if there's another TwitchCon next year. Amazon will be lucky if there's a Twitch next year. At this point, I'd say streamers and Twitch viewers to leave the platform. I'd say just leave the platform. The revenue split for the streamers isn't that good anymore. Especially for those that play video games. There's no longer a 70-30 split. It's now 50-50. From what I understand, YouTube offers gamers who live stream on YouTube a 70-30 split, and Kick offers a 95-5 split. You'll make more money elsewhere. Don't know what TikTok offers. Don't know what Instagram offers, but I'm pretty sure it's something. Not TikTok, since TikTok doesn't pay much. But anyways, the point is, there are better platforms out there than Twitch. Twitch has forgotten who they were built for, who they were made for, which is sad. It's extremely sad. And today it may be a big streamer like Emiru getting sexually assaulted, but tomorrow it'll be a small streamer who won't have people recording them, man or woman. There won't be someone recording them. The assault will happen quickly. Might happen in the darkness, might happen in the light, but it'll happen quickly, and people won't hear about it, which is sad. And what's worse is that someone might lose their life. Twitch needs to get their shit together. They seriously need to get their shit together, and I hope they get their shit together quickly before things get worse. No one likes it when things go south. When things go south, shit hits the fan, and when shit hits the fan, everyone is affected. And I can assure you, everyone does not want to be affected. The amount of streamers that enjoy Twitch, that enjoy the community they've built on Twitch, would have to restart their careers if Twitch went down. Because not every streamer has multiple platforms to post their content on. Sure, you have TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and whatnot, but many streamers don't have the time to do so. Many streamers do have their 9-to-5 job. Now, going back to the video that Emiru posted, I believe I remember her saying that yes, even small streamers are at danger. Because even a streamer with just 50 followers, you know, can have a deranged fan stalk them in real life, not just online, but in real life, which is scary to think about. Because 50 viewers is not a lot. You can easily fill a room with 50 people and then, you know, be like, oh damn, one of these people can actually be deranged and actually stalk me. It just takes one person to ruin a fun experience, a fun and innocent experience. And hopefully, like I said before, I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but hopefully Twitch gets their shit together. Hopefully Dan Clancy steps down. Hopefully Twitch gets a new CEO who actually has Twitch's best interest at heart and says, okay, let's rebrand. Let's go ahead and restructure everything from top to the bottom. Everything that we don't need, throw it out, like problematic big streamers. And let's go back to the roots of what Twitch is supposed to be. Twitch is supposed to be a fun platform where you could build a community around just about any subject, any good subject, I could say. You don't want to build a community around any bad subjects, any good subject, and just have fun. Whether you have a 9-to-5 job or you don't have a 9-to-5 job, you know, whether you're privileged enough to say my job is just streaming, or you're not at the point yet where you can say my job is just streaming. Let's hope Twitch gets back to that point. Anyways, I won't make this video any longer. It's long as it is. Please go ahead, like the video if you liked it, dislike if you liked it, leave a comment, and subscribe if you can.